What's growing on, gardeners? On today's 2-minute garden tip, I'm going to show you how and when to stop fertilizing your garden and your fruit trees. For deciduous fruit trees like apples, cherries, peaches, plums, pears, and figs, we want to stop fertilizing them 2 to 3 months before our first frost. That is because deciduous trees lose their leaves and go into dormancy after they're hit by frost and freeze. So, best case scenario, if you fertilize them beyond that point, you're really just wasting your money. Worst case scenario, you could actually trigger some new tender growth to actually spurt out of the tree late in the season, which could actually be too tender and be harmed or killed by frost and freeze. So for example, at the time of filming this video, it's the middle of September. We get our first frost here on the southeastern coast of North Carolina, usually in the middle of November. So we're 2 months away from this persimmon tree getting hit by its first frost. We want to make sure that we stop fertilizing up until this point. Preferably, we would have stopped about 4 weeks ago. But for evergreen trees, the rules are different. That is because they don't have a dormancy period. They grow all throughout the year. So for example, here I have 5 citrus trees and an avocado tree. These need to be fertilized periodically throughout the year, no matter what the time of year, because they always have a nutrient demand. Citrus are especially heavily in need of fertilizer or nutrients in the winter because they actually ripen their crop from October to March, depending on the trees that you are growing. So if you're growing citrus, it is very important that you either amend the soil with fresh compost and mulch or give them an organic fertilizer in the fall so they have enough nutrients to carry that crop load into the winter to ripen. I usually give my fruit trees an organic slow-release fertilizer a couple of times a year throughout the first 3 years of their life in ground as an easy means of gathering nutrients until they are well established. After they are 4 years old or older, I typically stop giving them store-bought fertilizers and I give them exclusively compost and mulch a couple of times a year. Once they're well established, I think that's really all they need, but that is up to you and it depends on how high quality and rich your soil is. Your annual vegetable garden is a little bit different. It requires more regular fertilizing. What's left of my warm season garden, I will fertilize those plants all the way up until 2 to 4 weeks before my first frost. So again, my first frost is usually mid-November. I'll fertilize my leftover tomatoes, peppers, melons, and cucumbers and things like that all the way up until the end of October because I want them to keep being productive and push them along before the frost kills them. But your cool season crops like your lettuces, brassicas, and other fast-growing, nutrient-demanding leafy greens, I'll continue to fertilize them all throughout the fall and the winter non-stop because they are cold-hardy and won't stop growing and need the nutrients. But that is not the case for your cold-hardy root vegetables like carrots, radishes, and beets. I find that too much fertilizer results in poor root development, so I only fertilize these crops at the time of sowing the seed. And then I find that is the secret to getting nice big bulb development. This schedule will put you on the path to a successful fall and winter garden. And that's today's 2-minute garden tip. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to receive new video notifications, and check out our Amazon storefront and spread shop in the video description for a list of the gardening products I use and awesome custom designed apparel and other gear. Your support is greatly appreciated.